Okay, we are going to show you how you're gonna do your potatoes and onions saute today. The first thing is you're gonna get a saute pan. Now, this is just a regular pan. A saute pan is special because the edges curve up like this so that you can do this. Flip your saute, flip your potatoes. You're not gonna flip potatoes. For today, you need a saute pan and you need a lid that's gonna fit on that. All right, I'm gonna get this going on to somewhere between high and medium. And then I'm gonna add my oil. Follow your recipe for how much oil. You can use olive oil or you can use just like a regular cooking oil. That's okay, you can use butter. I'm gonna actually use a combination of butter, about a tablespoon, and my olive oil. And while this is heating up, we're gonna cut some onions and potatoes. Okay, I've got my mise en place, onion, garlic, potato, so I'm ready to rock and roll. You guys are using a russet potato. Potatoes grow in the ground, so the most important thing to do is really, really wash your potatoes off. I run mine under water and I just rub them like this until all the dirt comes off. This one has a kind of a funky spot right here. I'm just gonna cut that off. No big deal, throw it in the trash. You can leave the skin on. If you don't want the skin, then you can peel your potatoes, but I'm gonna leave my skin on. I'm gonna turn this down. Okay, so for cutting today, the most important thing when you're sauteing is you want your pieces to be about the same size. So if you look here, you can see the ones I've already cut, and they're all about the same size. You want them the same size because they're gonna cook evenly that way. So for today, and because you're just learning how to cook or to cut with a knife, I'm gonna suggest that you take your knife, hold on either side of it, just like this, cut down the middle, and what that's going to do is it's gonna give you a nice flat surface that you can work on. From here, make sure you do your claw, and then you can start with your slow rocking motion going all the way through your potato. We talked about cutting an onion and the video showed you how to do this. So again, if you're feeling uncertain about cutting because it's the first time you've cut an onion, my recommendation is cut the end off and give yourself a nice solid surface to cut from. It's not gonna wobble around as much. Then go straight down the middle. You can put your hand up here like this to help and push down, and now you're ready to go. Claw, cut your end off. You can pull the skin off now. And now we're gonna slice. Same rocking motion that you had with the potato. Put the tip of the knife down. Your grip is nice and high, so you have control of the knife. And then just slowly rock, and your claw is what pushes your onion through. Stop where you feel comfortable. Don't push it further than you feel comfortable. And we have some good even slices there. You can always take these and cut them like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so here we have our pan, our saute pan, and you can see the butter is melted. And one way to test to see if your oil is ready and nice and hot is just to put something in. And if you can hear it and it starts bubbling around the edges, trust me, it's ready. You can. Okay, so go ahead and dump your potatoes and your onions straight in there. Spread them around a little bit. Hear that sizzle? Hear that sizzle? Thank you, Assistant Jennifer. And then just coat them around with your oil just a little bit. You want them all coated so that they don't stick to the pan. If you have a non-stick pan, that's even better. So once we've given them a nice little stir and they're all coated, you're going to put the lid on it and follow your recipe and let them sit. And then we'll go chop some garlic. Okay, 10 minutes on the potatoes. We're gonna check them now. Be careful because this is gonna be hot. So you get your hot pad, not a dish towel, hot pad. And you take this off. And be careful, it might splatter a little bit, but you can start turning your potatoes over. You'll see that the ones on the bottom have gotten a little brown. That's delicious. And you might have a little more liquid because the potatoes and the onions are sweating. That just means the liquid's getting out. Okay, now I'm gonna add my minced garlic that we already minced. And you're gonna put it there and give that a good little toss around. This is also at the point in which I'm gonna salt and pepper. Get the onion off. I'm gonna salt and pepper. I have my salt and my pepper. And then I'm gonna give it another little toss so all of that gets mixed in. And we're gonna let this go a little bit longer. You can see that your potatoes are starting to break down a little bit. The steam, remember a saute is a wet, it's a moist cooking. So the steam, by putting the lid on, the steam is keeping the liquid in there and it's really cooking everything down. We're gonna let these rest for another 10 minutes, I think your recipe says, and then we'll be back. Potatoes should be done. Ooh, listen to that sizzle, and look at all of that steam that's coming off. That's why it's called a moist cook. Dry heat versus moist heat. The dry heat you're gonna do next week when you roast your vegetables. This week, we're working on a saute, which is used with the moist heat. Okay. Some of my onions got a little brown in there. I don't care. The flavor is delicious. We're gonna give this a little bit of a scoop. They're stuck to the bottom, but that's because I don't have a nonstick pan. And you'll just scoop them out. If you like spicy, you can add some red chili flakes. You can add some ketchup. Eat them just like this. You might want to let them cool a little bit. Taste them again. Add some more salt and pepper, but your potatoes are ready to go. Enjoy them.